Hi everyone, welcome to my first Flosstube video. I'm a little nervous at sharing what I've done and what I'm working on because I'm by no means as an experienced stitcher as some of the ladies I've been watching. Up until, I don't know, about a week ago I had no idea Flosstube videos existed, but my goodness, I'm so glad I found them. It's absolutely rekindled my love of cross stitch, something that I probably started as a teenager, 2 or 3 years ago, more, and put aside for a while, and then was rekindled again about 5 years ago when a child I used to care for was given a cross stitch kit, and being as I was the only crafty person the family knew, I was the one charged with teaching her how to use the kit. And it absolutely reignited me and got me looking around for stuff and projects, and here we are now. So what I thought I'd do in my first video is show you the few finishes I've got and what I'm working on, or haven't been working on but should be working on, and my stash as it stands today, because basically my stash fits in 2 bags, so I don't have a lot of stuff. I was living in England when I was helping this young lady, and I decided to return to my native New Zealand in 2013, and I knew I was coming home to care for my mother, so I knew that money would be very tight, so I stocked up before I left. I brought several charts that I liked. I kitted up a couple of them so that I had everything that I needed to do it, and other than one order I placed 2 years ago from 123 Stitch in the States, I haven't actually brought much. Having said that, thanks to all of you ladies being enablers, I have actually ordered again from 123 Stitch, and I received the notification today that the parcel is now on its way. There's not a lot of stuff in it. Again, I mean, money is obviously a very tight thing for me, but it's a project that I've seen in the past and really wanted to stitch, and I think it's Jessica at Schoolhouse Stitcher in Atlanta. She is starting it, and it just brought it back into my mind, and I decided to go ahead and order it. So I will leave you hanging as to what it is until they arrive. I probably got to allow a couple of weeks for it to get from the States to New Zealand, but yeah, interesting. So as I say, I'm going to go through what I have accomplished. I haven't got everything that I've finished because I did some smalls that have been given away already. What I've got here hasn't finally been finished, I think is how you call it. It's not been framed or made into a pillow or anything like that. That's on the to-do list, and when there's a bit of spare money, one thing needs to be framed. So anyway, I will make sense of my pile, and we'll churn through. I'll try not to make it too long, and I'll try to be nice and smooth with my transactions, because I know that some videos can make you feel seasick, and I certainly don't want to end up doing that, because it affects me, I know that, and I don't want to inflict that on other people. So the first thing I will show you is my big finish. So after I reignited my love of cross stitch again after helping this young lady, I went looking around, and I discovered obviously all the new designers and things that had sprung up in the years when I wasn't cross stitching, and I discovered Little House Needleworks, and I love Little House Needleworks, I have to say. So you can kind of already in that naming of that designer, you can get an idea of sort of the style that I prefer. I'm not teddy bears, and I'm not the heaven and earth designs, I think that's what they're called, mystical, dragony. That's not me. Partly I don't think I would be interested in something as big and complex as that, but it's not me. I'm a folk art, Americana, history, those sorts of things. So looking through the the online store that I found in the UK, I was looking through the Little House charts and I fell in love with this one. Now I no longer have the chart, I actually gifted it, I passed it on after I finished the project. But I started, having helped, how old would she have been back then? 8 or 9 years of age, with a child's chart. I jumped from that to this. Now I don't know how well, I'm not going to be able to get the whole thing in unless I move right back, and I don't know how we're looking at seeing through the back. But this is our Little House neighbourhood, and I followed it faithfully, called for fabric threads, and I even, if I can hold it still and figure it out back to front, in neighbourhood I actually left the spelling as the American spelling. We actually have a U in our spelling, yeah, B-O-U-R, so I even left it at that. I didn't want to fiddle with the spacing or anything like that. I'm not that advanced, but I just love this piece. I love houses, so it just jumped out at me. And this took me, I reckon it took me about 9 months to do altogether, not consistently sitting for hours every day stitching, but bits and pieces here and there. I had a job with a newborn in England, and I took it to work, and I also was doing I was doing one of the sheep, the patience sheep, and ironically for this little girl who has no patience, and I alternated. I'd do a little bit of the Little House neighbourhood one day when he slept, and then I'd do the sheep the next day. Alright, so there'll be a little bit of rattling as I pull things out. The next, I've only got a couple of finishes, as I say, if I can find them here. So this is one of the Prairie School Santas, and it's my intention to finish him into something that I can hang on a tree. I discovered Vonna Pfeiffer, and I don't know if I pronounced your name right, and I apologise if I haven't, several years ago, and I followed your blog, and I remember the Christmas tree with all the ornaments, and I'm like, I want that. So that will eventually get finished into a tree. And the other little small that I've got finished but not cut from the main bit of cloth is another Little House Needleworks, the sleigh ride, which is just lovely. And so again, those are basically my 3 finishes. I'll put that away later. What else have I got in here for show and tell? Okay, so we'll come back to that. My work in progress is basically only one thing, because I couldn't fathom, and I probably still can't, but I'm getting the gist of it, how you could have loads and loads of projects on the go at one time. I kind of like needed to have things finished. But that experience with the young baby, I realised that you probably could have 2 or 3, because you know you could alternate enough but still see progress happening. So I kind of stuck with doing a big thing and a small thing, so things would move along. So once I finished the neighbourhood, I decided that I was going to do the snowmen, Lizzie Kate 6 Fat Snowmen, and I'm doing it, try not to get the glare, I'm doing it as a full piece. Now this is where things begin to fall apart. So I finished the neighbourhood, I reckon, 2 years ago, and I fairly much after that started the snowman. I haven't touched it for probably a year, and this is where I'm at. So I've done the whole frames and the birdhouse and birds that came with the free chart to do the framing and the wording. I've completed the top, I'll just roll that out of the way a bit, the top block up here, and this block, and this is when I pulled this out to thinking about am I going to do this video and all that sort of thing, and I looked at this block, I mean, how much is left to do? That it could have been done ages ago. I'm fairly certain, without finding the chart, that that is all there is left on that block. Maybe a snowflake or two, I'm not sure. So my goal for this, the rest of this year, to say it's mid-September, is to finish this, and I'll show you why I want to finish this, because in January I'm going to start 2 big projects. So I will now go through, a bit close, sorry about that. I'll now go through the stash that I currently have, which is basically what I brought back from the UK, plus an order I made with 123 Stitch 2 years ago, and I can't remember which were those ones that I ordered. So I've got here kitted up. I quite like these little Lizzie Kate things, little charts, so this feels like there's more than one in there. Oh, it's just a trifold. Okay, so I really liked this, Be Kind and of Good Cheer. So I've got the fabric and I've got the threads for that as well, so that's a fully kitted piece. Not all the charts are kitted by any means. So this is my bag of goodies. I wonder how long it's going to fit, the stash is going to fit in here. I'm probably just going to go in no particular order and just pull things out, I think, because of the way the bag is. So I have got a Homespun Elegance little Christmas square. I've got to be careful of the glare on the window. I got a lot of Christmassy things because, as I say, I had seen this tree that Vonna had in her house with all the decorations, and that's what I wanted to attempt to replicate at some point. We aren't anywhere near that at this point in time. I brought this, I saw this, this is Oh Christmas Tree by All Through the Night. I left England in 2013. That's the English summer. I went to the Stitch and Knit show at Alexandra Palace in North London, and I saw this actually, gosh, I wonder what's the best way to do it so you can see it without the glare. I don't want to have to take everything out because it'll add heaps of time. I saw this stitched up on the wall of the stand and it was just lovely. This is a Country Cottage Needleworks, one of the deer, I don't remember what the name is, Frosty Forest. This was gifted to me by a stitcher in England. I got that and also the floss that goes with it. Another Country Cottage snowman. Even though it's summer in New Zealand at Christmas time, it's just not the same, that being cold and snowy. And I've spent a lot of my adult life in the UK, so cold Christmases, they're the thing. I love this Country Cottage one, and this is probably one I will get to sooner rather than later. And then I have got, basically, I think I'll just show the bag if I can do it without too much of a glare. This is the fabric, the threads, and all 12 of the Santa's Village patterns. And this was one of the things I definitely want to kit it up because I absolutely loved this when I discovered it. So that's in the waiting to be started pile, obviously, but it's not going to be one of the two things I'm starting next year. We'll get to that. What else have I got in my bag here? I haven't got much really, not compared to some of the people I've seen. My little pile of my whole stash is some people's haul videos, which is fabulous. I love it. And at some point I will have a nice big haul video, but probably it will be dribs and drabs in reality. While I was still in the UK, I got the 2013 Christmas ornament just cross-stitch book, and then in New Zealand the following year I got the 2014 one. Did I say 2013 first? I hope so. Oops. This was astronomical to buy in New Zealand, unbelievable. So I haven't brought any more. Excuse me while I bend down and pick up the thing that just dropped. I have actually ordered it from 123 Stitch, this year's version, the 2017 version. So even with the postage, it was cheaper than buying it in New Zealand. So anyway, this was a kit I picked up again at the same stitching show at Ali Pali, and this is a Victoria sampler, and it's called Christmas Village. I'm not trying to turn it too far, but enough for you to see everything. And this comes with all the threads and the fabric. And I see it comes with beads. I don't know that I'm a beady person. Who knows when this will ever get stitched, but I like the fact that it was a full kit and it's Christmassy and all of that. I don't remember where I got this from, and I don't know necessarily that I actually like it anymore. Maybe it's the yellow fabric, I'm not sure. Anyway, it's a Prairie Moon, Peace on Earth. Again, it's Christmassy. A lot of my stuff is Christmassy, as you will see. Some Prairie Schooler Santas. Yeah, again, I'm not sure if this was from the order or I brought that back from England now. This is the Prairie Schooler chart from the finished Santa that I showed you. So he's got a few mates that I can sew eventually. This I brought, again, this is from the Ali Pali show a few years ago, and this is from an English company called the Historical Sampler Company Limited. And this was actually, again, this was a full stitched example in the booth, and it was just gorgeous. £13 for those of you in England, but that was a few years back. I don't know how I'm going to do this without too much glare. Just lovely. Colours are beautiful. This is something I look forward to doing at some point, but it's not one of the two for next year. I'm going to have a colossal accident on my desk soon, but never mind. We are getting down to the bottom of the bag. There's just a packet of things, so let's see. I haven't been in here for a while, so dropped another one. Okay, that's just the chart for the sleigh bells that I showed you as a finish. There's the Patience, so I've done that one and given that away already, and that's the only sheep. I have seen the sheep done with, I think, a Country House Needleworks centrepiece and the sheep around the outside, which was really cool. I quite like that, but I don't know that it's something I would rush to do. There's lots of other things before that. This thing and I don't agree. Let's get the chart out. It's got the floss in the way so you can't see the picture. This I got as a kit actually at a crafty show here in New Zealand actually. and I thought it was really pretty. I liked it, but gee, has given me such a headache that I've actually put it away, and I'm not sure. I'll have to sit and look at it to figure out what and why. I won't show you the backs of my projects. I saw Jessica from Schoolhouse Stitcher is the only Flosstube I've watched all of the videos for so far, primarily because she's got 5 at the moment. But I liked her things, and there were some glimpses of her backs. Wow! I'm a beginner. I do not have backs like you clever American ladies have. If you know of a really good tutorial for, you know, how you keep your backs tidy and all that sort of thing, I would love you to tell me how to find it, because anyway, this is the progress on that. I've got sort of the almost the top of the tree in bits. I think it's the fabric that I was having problems with. Maybe just not seeing where all the holes were very well. It might be a very I don't even know the correct term, high count, low count, something like that. Because actually looking at it at the moment it seems okay, so I don't know why I've been arguing with it. I'll have to spend some time studying it to figure out what's going on. I need to fold that a different way too. Anyway, I'll just put that like that, tidy up afterwards. Okay, next on my pile is another Little House Small. I like the snowmen. Oh, this was a free pattern that Diane gave away. 2013 is the date I've got on the back of that, and again that's something I stitched, and I actually gave that to my niece as part of her Christmas present. Another snowman. I think that he's a flake. Oh no, all dolled up. So this is the stocking up pile before I left the UK. Things that I liked and I wanted to do at some point. I really like that. This was a chart that I won a rack actually, or something like that, or a prize giveaway or something on a blog, and that was one of the ones that it's about the only thing I've ever won anything for. So this again, the Song of the Seasons, the mystery sampler from a couple of years ago, that was also a rack that was given to me. Again, it'll get done at some point. Okay, so I've seen this stitched up somewhere. It might have been on a cross stitch forum. I'm having trouble with the light now, checking what it's looking like for you guys. I think this is really lovely. Something I look forward to doing. And I say I like Americana and all sorts of things, and I would love to have been alive and been in the wagon trains to the west. That's one of the periods of time it really interests me. I like reading about that, especially real diaries as opposed to just fictional stuff. But so when I saw this Prairie Moon, I thought I need to have that because I got the wee cabin and all of that, and I really like that. This is a chart that I've seen stitched up as well, which I just love, and it's something that will get done sooner rather than later. Actually going through and showing you what I've got now, I've got my eye on another Little House piece, and I don't have it. I wasn't sure if I had it or not, but I don't, so I can add it to my wish list. Okay, this is one of the 2 big things that I'm going to start in January, and why I want to get my snowman finished, because I just really want to get on with this. I've seen this stitched up as well, and it's just stunning. Orchard Valley Quilting Bee, obviously, and I'm really looking forward to working on that. So this is a January start. That's my plan. My plan is to finish the snowman this year, maybe do a small just because, and then I'm planning on starting this, and subject to the information on one of the charts that's coming in the post now, I want to start one of those too. So I'm going to have two big things on the go next year, with maybe a small or two supplemented for a bit of interest. I don't think I'll ever get to... I watched a video today from somebody talking about Stitch Mania or something like that, and showing all the projects that she planned to start for that month. No, I don't think that will ever be me. I don't think I'll ever have that many projects on the go, but you just, who knows where things will take you. We'll just have to see. So anyway, that's pretty much all that I have to share at the moment. I hope to post fortnightly is my plan, and that when I show you this in 2 weeks' time, that block will be finished. In fact, it should be finished in the next few days, because ever since I've realised how little there is left to do, it's like, I want to do it, but I wanted to get this video done first to show where we're at now, what the baseline is, and see how things go. Anyway, I thank everybody who was sharing all their cross stitch on YouTube. There's been some wonderful things. My wish list on 123 Stitch has grown, and I'm kind of already planning another order. I'm kind of thinking, with this birthday in November, that I just ask for money, and I will get some stuff and possibly get the threads and everything for the other big project that I want to start. So hopefully when I record the next video in 2 weeks, that order will have arrived and I've got a little bit of show and tell. My videos aren't always going to be this long, I don't think, at the beginning, because it's just basically I'm not going to have all the stuff to show. So we'll just see how we go. As I said, if anybody can point me in the direction of some really good videos on keeping the backs of your projects tidy, I would like to see that. I was self-taught, I was never taught by anybody, so my backs, I can imagine a lot of you would be tutting and shaking your head and going, oh my goodness. So share me some information, or show me some links or something like that, and I'll try and improve. Okay, we're pushing half an hour, so I'm going to sign off now, and I look forward to catching more of you. I've got a whole list of video people to look at with views to subscribing to, people who do projects that are more in line. You've seen what I've shown you now. It's not totally Little House, so I'm very interested in Blackbird Designs and Plum Street Samplers, I think they're called. I don't own any of their stuff yet, and my order doesn't have any of their stuff in it this time, but possibly next time. There's a couple of things that I've seen a few people show now. I did actually have a Blackbird design on my wish list, and it took me about 6 hours yesterday, I think it was, to finalise my list, and in the time between putting it in the cart and getting ready to check out, someone had nicked it, so it was gone. Anyway, I shall wrap up now, and look forward to chatting with you in a couple of weeks, and hopefully show you the progress on a third snowman. Okay ladies, take care, and gents if there are any watching. Catch you soon. Bye bye.